The sea scamp groaned, its rotten hull slamming the splintered pier. The air reeked of salt, dead fish, and lead paint. The ferryman, face like scorched leather, heaved the rope tight. "Last stop," he mumbled, voice a gravelly rasp. "Blackwood Point. No one's coming back till Friday." Ellie gripped her duffel bag. "I understand." He turned, watery eyes squinting. "You really fixing to stay in the lighthouse? An accusation, not a question." "I'm the preservation engineer," Ellie said, voice steady. "Lincoln County sent me." "I know what you're here for," he cut in, spitting tobacco juice into the gray water. "Don't matter. It don't want you there. It wants something else." A chill hit Ellie. The lighthouse." "I said what I said," he growled. "Don't go near the glass when the fog rolls in. The fog here don't just hide, it brings things. And if you hear the bell, don't answer it." Ellie frowned. "Bell? Ain't got no bell. Dismantled in 53. He turned away. "And don't trust what you see after midnight. The midnight ghost ain't for company. It's for recruiting." Ellie stepped onto the rickety, sagging pier. The ferry's diesel cough sputtered, leaving Ellie alone on the grim strip of land, cut off by the tide. Blackwood Point lighthouse rose before her like a rotted tooth. Ash gray, mottled with mildew, rust stains bled from the lantern room like dried blood. The massive oak door resisted, opening with a tortured shriek. The air inside was stifling, cold, damp plaster, old metal, and the acrid smell of something burnt. The light switch was dead. Weak afternoon light revealed the ground floor. A large, circular room, dust-covered tarps, and a cast-iron spiral staircase twisting into darkness like a leviathan's spine. 3 days, she told herself, setting up her sleeping bag near the door. She checked her phone, no signal. The lock screen lit up. Her and Mark, last summer. A familiar tightness gripped her chest. 6 months since the accident, 6 months since their last fight. "You're never present, Ellie." She blacked the screen. She took this job to run from the empty apartment. The pitying looks, the silence. Work filled the afternoon. The generator's roar was a comfort against the decay. She took photos, made notes. She found the old keeper's logbook. The final entries, from November 1953, were frantic. Heard the bell again. "Eliza said it rings for me. Noben 29. Eliza is cold. Just sits on the stairs. She blames me for the damp. Why is she still so wet?" December 2nd. "The singing is back. She's calling my name from the rocks. But Eliza is right here beside me." December 3rd. "The light is out. The ship. God. The screaming. Eliza says it's my fault." The last entry, "I have to go out." Silas Croft, the last keeper, went mad after his wife Eliza was swept off the rocks. He let the light go out, wrecking a trawler. They never found his body. Ellie shuddered, closing the book. Night fell. The generator died at 9 p.m. The sudden silence was filled by the groaning building and the relentless, pounding waves. Ellie crawled into her sleeping bag, flashlight near. She tried to read, but her mind raced to Mark. The rain. Wipers. His last words, "Ellie, look out." She forced the memory away. That's when she heard it, a single, lonely ding. Faint. Ellie froze. "Ain't got no bell. Who's the winds?" she told herself. Then, a second sound, from inside, from the staircase. Clack, a pause. Clack. Metal on metal. "Who's there?" Her voice trembled. Her flashlight beam hit the base of the stairs. Nothing. "Just the building settling," she whispered, but sleep was gone. Then, a smell, old pipe tobacco and wet wool. It grew stronger, as if someone stood right beside her. The air turned ice cold, her breath pluming. Her flashlight beam cut the air, illuminating swirling dust motes. Then the smell vanished. She did not sleep. Day 2 was hell. Exhausted and paranoid, She forced herself to climb the damned spiral staircase. The higher she climbed, the colder it got. The keeper's quarters were destroyed, furniture overturned. And the scratches. The door to the balcony was barred from the inside. The wood was shredded, embedded with broken fingernails, as if Silas had been desperate to get out of the room. Then she saw it on the dusty windowsill, and her blood froze. A crudely carved wooden bird. She knew the nick on its left wing. Mark had carved it for her. "No," she whispered. "It was on her nightstand in Portland. It could not be here." "I'm hallucinating," she muttered. She ran, stumbling down the spiral stairs, and tore through her duffel bag. Nothing. It wasn't there. She burst outside, gasping. The tide was high. The land bridge was gone. She was trapped. Ding. The bell. Clearer this time. In broad daylight, with no wind, she scanned the churning reef. Nothing. She looked up at the lighthouse and screamed. A dark silhouette stood in the lantern room, staring down at her. She blinked. It was gone. She spent the day in quiet panic, only going inside when darkness forced her. That night, she dragged a file cabinet to block the door and sat with her back to the wall. Wrench in hand, she started the generator. Needing the noise, the fog rolled in, thick and white, suffocating the sound of the waves. The generator's chug was the only sound. At midnight, her watch beeped. Instantly, the generator died. Absolute, heavy silence. Ding the bell. Right outside the door. Loud. Clear. Ding ding. D-I-N-G. Stop it! Ellie? Ellie. Ellie. The bell stopped. A pause. Then, clump. From upstairs, a heavy sea boot hitting the floor. Clump. Closer. On the stairs, a deliberate, soaking step. Drip. Drip. Something was coming down. Dripping, seawater. The stench hit her. Tobacco, wet wool, and now rotten seaweed and coppery blood. Stop! Ellie screamed, aiming her flashlight at the stairs. The beam hit empty air. The footsteps paused. Then, from the darkness just above, a wet whisper. Eliza. Ellie screamed. I'm not Eliza. The footsteps resumed, but going up. Quickly, clump, clump, clumped, towards the lantern room. A deafening clang echoed from above. A new dread seized her. The ship, she gasped, remembering the logbook. The light she didn't try to escape. She ran after it, hurling herself up the spiral stairs, flashlight beam dancing. The cold air burned her lungs. The stench was overwhelming. The keeper's quarters were empty. The wooden bird was gone. A groaning shriek of metal came from the lantern room. It was trying to move the lens. Ellie climbed the final ladder into the room. It was tomb cold. The giant Fresnel lens stood silent in the center. Silas. A creak. Ellie spun. A figure stood silhouetted against the foggy glass, water dripping from its old sea coat. It turned. The face was pale, bloated. The eyes, wide and milky white, were still his. Mark, she gasped. The wrench clanged on the floor. It tilted its head, a jerky, unnatural movement. Water trickled from its mouth. No, Ellie backed away. You're dead. The Mark thing took a wet step. You let the light go out, Elliot whispered. The voice was not Mark's. It was the hiss of the sea. What? No. The accident, the truck. You closed your eyes, it whispered, taking another step. Just for a second. You were tired. You let the light go out. The memory hit her like a tidal wave. The fight. I'm tired of this, Mark. She had closed her eyes just for a second. The blaring horn, the twist of metal. Mark's still, open-eyed face. No, she sobbed, sliding to the floor. It was an accident. The bloated face twitched, melting into the gaunt face of Silas Croft. You let the light go out, it hissed. Then it was Mark again. We all let the light go out. It loomed over her. This is our lighthouse now, it whispered. The fog never lifts. And you are the keeper. Ellie looked up. The wooden bird, she whispered. It was you. I never left, it said, and neither will you. It bent down, cold, wet lips, brushing her ear, using Mark's voice. It's okay, Ellie. We have all the time in the world. Then, the other gravelly voice from the same lips. Eliza, my love. Her flashlight flickered twice and died. Absolute darkness. Eleanor's scream was lost in the sudden, deafening roar of the lighthouse foghorn, a sound unheard in 50 years. Friday morning, the ferryman waited. 10 minutes. 20. He honked. Nothing. Damned fool. He stepped into the lighthouse. Her sleeping bag and tools were there. No Ellie. He climbed the stairs, heart pounding. He'd seen this before. In the lantern room, there was no body, just a puddle of salty seawater, though it hadn't rained, and on the windowsill, looking out to sea, sat the crudely carved wooden bird. It backed away, making the sign of the cross. He'd report the structure unsafe. He just wouldn't tell them why. Blackwood Point always got what it wanted. That night, and every night after, fishermen reported a strange thing. At exactly midnight, the long-dead Blackwood Point lighthouse casts its light into the fog, a single, weak beam, sweeping the dark water, searching for a ship that will never return.